Live from the local liquor store to your living room, it's Transformers News with your host, YouTube's most outspoken alcoholic and worldly wino, the dashing and debonair Drunken Prime. Thank you all. Let's go ahead and gather around. Let's grab a seat and let's get into the news. Well, we all knew it was coming. The party had to end soon enough. The party had to be over soon enough. Hasbro is raising prices across the board. According to CNBC, this is from CNBC. According to them, they're only really talking about board games because the price of board games has gone up. Seriously, everywhere I've gone, I've seen 1.5 million board games. I don't know what board games they're talking about because they can just use the surplus that they currently have at every other Walmart and Target. I just see rafters full of board games. My friends that have friends that work at Target talk about the racks of board games they have. They're going to raise prices. They're only talking about board games, but we all know it's trickling up. It's going directly to the figures, the action figures. We all know it's going there. We all know what's coming. we already saw a price increase in deluxes. I mean, that was the first new wave shit test of the customers. $22.99, I think, for the new ones is $22.99 on Hasbro Pulse. That was the first shit test of all of the people in the collector community and parents who are buying them for their kids. That was the first shit test. That was the one that they said, hey, can we get away with this? And I don't know. I think they did. I can honestly say like they did, but we all know when they're not just going to raise prices on just the deluxes. That's just crazy talk. You can't have a deluxe be $3 less or $7 less than a Voyager. That's just crazy. So we all know. So we all know they're going to raise the prices. So we're probably going to end up with $25 deluxes, $35 Voyagers, probably $55, maybe $60 liters, and maybe $90 commander classes. And then what are we looking at now? Then we're probably looking at $179, maybe $200 for Titans. That's kind of where we're seeing where we might land. But the reason why they're doing this, I mean, they're citing the materials and everything, and that part I can believe to a point, because how do I say it? Some of these figures, they suck. So what materials are you using? You have to be recycling some of this stuff because they suck. They're talking about materials. How many remolds of Sideswipe can you make? I mean, what materials? What materials are there? What materials when the rafters at Walmart's are full of board games, but the action figure section for your section is empty? Now, there's a lot of factors that go into that. But let's be clear. Hasbro is paying for space. They're not paying, materials aside, they're paying for space in Walmart. They're paying for a certain section carved out for them. And that section carved out for them, particularly in the Transformer section, in most stores is empty. Empty. Now, another interesting thing about this article is that Hasbro's going the route of Mattel and going into NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So this is sort of what are they going to do with this? Is this where the trading card business is going? Is this where their board game money is going? I feel like the price raises are a way to hedge their bet on NFTs. It might be a way to quietly raise money to make a what could technically be a bad bet. This is something we'll have to see in the future, but I digress. Let's focus on the collector community, the action figure collecting community. The size of the figures has gone down. They're saying I've heard engineering, things like that. Engineering for pretty much anything can be done on a stock Windows or Mac computer. You can do sophisticated engineering and simulations on an iPad. So no, I can't buy that one. And in the article, they said that their revenue only went up their 1%. 1%. So it's $1.11 billion with a B, $1 billion. But yet prices need to go up. Okay, cool. Let's rock with that. Let's go with that. Prices need to go up. Inflation, materials, things like that cost more. Okay, fine. Transportation. Oh, they say transportation of materials. That's fine. That's a fair argument because gas does cost more to transport. Question: who are you really transporting them to? Because there's nothing in the stores, and you can't say it's the pandemic because people are, at least the people I know, I know quite a few people, they're working, even if it's remotely, or I know truck drivers, they're actually working more now than they even were during a pandemic. People are out there working. So if the stacks are empty, if the items you're quoting are in an abundance everywhere we go, why are prices going up? Well, they're shit testing you. This is a shit test. This is a shit test to see how far they can poke, how far they can stick their hand in your pocket before you slap their hand and say, no, that's enough. We'll see. We'll see down the road what this all looks like in the end. But there have been a lot more hits with Kingdom than misses. Fine. Studio Series 86 is a hit. Yes, for the most part. There are some figures I'm just like, bleh. Like Blur. No one wants Blur. Blur's a shelf warmer. But I mean, for the most part, like Cup, at least his car mode looks like Cup. Hot Rod is like a mini masterpiece. Grimlock is the bomb. Like, Grimlock's one of the best figures they've released, probably. Well, Grimlock and Cyclonus, and I would say Kingdom Megatron, Beast Megatron, and T-Rex are the three best mainline figures to come out in a very, very, very long time. Earthrise Prime, no. I love it, but he doesn't have anything on those ones. But there's a lot of misses. And I'm just like, what justifies the price? The sizes are going down, the prices are going up. Sounds to me like corporate greed. Got to make those investors happy. That's fine. But you're going to make them very unhappy when your customers say, I don't want the dude. They price me out of the hobby. When you price your customers out of the hobby, you suffer, the customer suffers, your investors suffer. Just saying, something to think about down the road. But with that said, be safe, be good, and this is the Drunken Prime, cracking open another beer and signing off.